Hello viewers. I thought I would do a quick overview video. Well, of course I always say quick and it goes on too long, of a little bit of what is up and coming on this channel. And to this point I've done quite a few fan videos and there's gonna be more of those, but those are good like cold weather, just check out videos, but some of those we will be servicing. I think one or two that I've demonstrated during the video need servicing. So we'll do videos on those, weather permitting, as it kind of hopefully gets a little nicer, because anytime you got to deal with the hose, cleaning the guards on the fan, it's just brutal on your hands. But I thought I'd talk about a little bit about what videos I would like to do coming up and just kind of do a little quick walkthrough. So first thing is, not really in any particular order, but first thing for me is when it's springtime, you start thinking about lawnmowers, right? And I have a few of them. It's become a hobby with my son and I, and we'll get into actual stories on some of them during videos, but just kind of a quick little walkthrough in what I call my favorite room in the house. Right here, I have a 1985 Murray 22-inch that it was a curb find 4 years ago, and the only thing that it needed was a pull cord and it started up. I've since then have tuned it. I've used it in light duty every summer because I just love these classic 3.5 Briggs Stratton. You'll notice the gas tank is off of it and the carb is off of it. Actually I was tuning it up this winter because I like to try to work on that, sometimes turn the heat on in the garage, and it looked like it needed a new, the carb was having an issue, and it appears to be the diaphragm. So I have one, and hopefully that will be a video maybe this weekend. Behind it in that box is a uncut insulation for underneath a hood. I have a 95 Lincoln Town car that's like my hobby car. No, that's not what's under this cover. That's another topic. And the car I'm trying to, it's really, really awesome shape, the vehicle. Probably needs some paint. Other than that, it's really pristine. And the hood insulation, it just needs to be replaced, and it will really bring out the engine bay because the motor is very, very clean itself. Battery backup, solar on this particular home. I plan to do a discussion on that at some point and just kind of share what we got going on here. I'm not a solar expert, but boy, does it pay for itself. I would do that over again in a heartbeat. Not trying to make a political statement or anything like that, but in terms of just economics, whoa, that really worked for me. Of course, the shop vac, I've had this, this was a gift to me. I want to say maybe it's close to 10 years now. Maybe do a servicing video on that because I have a new filter for it. And once a year, I give it a good going over. Of course, just a miscellaneous shelf, but Husqvarna chainsaw that I purchased about 7 or 8 years ago. It's a great saw. Actually, the only regret I do have is that it's not even bigger. Some of the trees that I've dealt with, but although it cuts right through it, no problem. And that was a refurbished. I bought it from Husqvarna, I believe, as a refurbished, and it was worth it. I would recommend doing that. Electric leaf blower, kind of use that just to clean off the mowers in the summer and just really quickly once over the driveway, light duty. Electric chainsaw that I've had since 2011. When funds were tight back then, that's what I got and that's what I used. And that thing has a ton of hours on it. Hasn't ever let me down. It's older, so it's not a battery one, but it still works well. If it were to go, despite having a gas-powered one, I would buy another smaller one, but battery would make life easier. It's great for kind of pruning smaller trees or getting rid of really small trees, like these spindly little trees, and you don't feel like firing up the big chainsaw. What else do we have? This is a gas leaf blower, backpack leaf blower. That was essentially a gift from my neighbor. You know, he was buying some things at a yard sale, picked it up, gave it to my son. Needs some work. It barely runs. I think it's something throttle related. We can get it to run, but you start to lean on it a little bit, it chokes out. Craftsman 4-cycle weed whacker I bought in 2011. It gets such light use, but 4-cycle I thought at the time, I'm not mixing oil and gas because it was the only thing at the time. Everything else I had at that time was 4 cycles, so I thought, oh, I'll go that route. It's been a good piece of equipment. It's probably overkill for what I use it for. Again, if I was purchasing again today, I would definitely go battery, just for convenience, not to make a political statement or anything. This is the big guy. This is fun to use. It makes leaf blowing almost tolerable. A lot of growth, a lot of trees around here, and I used to use something like that before I had when the funds were low, when I first bought the house years ago. But now I bought this probably 7 or 8 years ago, and it is worth it. This lawnmower was, I think it was like 20 bucks, if that. I needed something to just go around the edge of the lawn, kind of where it's not as nice, you know, along the woods and everything, and it's kind of on a hill. Just needed something light to push around. This thing never ran perfectly, despite, and I know my way around a lawnmower, so I've certainly been into it a few times, and I think it's the internals that were never that great on this. I used to have one just like this before until I unfortunately bent the crank on it. That last one ran way better. To point out, it's also sitting on this cart that I saw. If you go on YouTube and watch Bruce Pender, look him up. He's up in Canada. He does a lot of lawnmower videos. I saw him using like a little lift like this with the hand. You can see the foot pump there and the hand release. Awesome. You're not picking up lawnmowers and putting on sawhorses. This was a free reel mower my son found on the side of the road. He wanted me to totally restore it or together. We did some work to it, got the rust off the handlebars, sharpened the blades on it, and it's just it's taking up space, but it's kind of his thing. Rototiller, my son also picked up for free. I think it has a throttle issue. It has essentially the same 4-cycle as on that weed whacker I showed you. Electric scooter that belongs to my son. This is a chainsaw that my stepfather gave to my son. It doesn't work. He gave it to him maybe last year because my 12-year-old boy loves to work on things. And no, I don't give him a gas-powered chainsaw to work on by himself, but he knows his way around small motors, and it's just another father and son project to work on. Let's see. I've talked in some of my fan videos about Toastmaster fans. In one of my Toastmaster videos, I referenced this fan that's been up there since I built the shelf in 2011. I haven't moved it. When I flip the power strip on for the stereo, it comes on low. It's kind of one of these things, it's a game now. It's been sitting up there so long, and running on low. When I turn it on, that it works. Stereo equipment, I've owned most of this since 1992. I was very young. It still works. I have it hooked up to these garbage speakers up there, but that's fun. I have a way to play CDs and cassettes if I'm so inclined. This is an old air station. I'll do a video on that. Owned that probably since 1990. My dad bought it to blow up basketballs and whatnot. And that was kind of just came with me over the years. If you're servicing lawnmowers and you're sharpening the blades, I've done it with the metal file, or I've done it with the attachment to the drill. What a pain in the neck. This, while it takes like seconds, maybe minutes to sharpen a blade, totally worth it. Totally worth it if you're doing your own lawnmowers. Battery, Valet, for what's under this cover. Maybe you can guess what's under the cover. There's 2 white stripes that are coming up on the video. Space heaters. I've done a few videos on space heaters, and I've gotten requests to do more, so I can do this one. This kind of lives in the basement in the summertime, but right now I have a dryer sheet hanging there. You can see the boxes of dryer sheets. I am very paranoid about mice. Not that I have a mouse problem. We don't have any mice that come in here, knock on wood. But I heard that the dryer sheets prevent them, and with what's under the cover and just the other equipment. So when you fire up this this heater, you get, it smells like clean laundry in here. It's great. Cub Cadet XT2, we'll do a video on that. I haven't started it since the fall, so I'm hoping this weekend we can at least crank it up. Low hours on it. Now that my son mows the lawn, when you're mowing the lawn by yourself, this takes the edge off, right? But when you have two guys out there, you can just do it by hand. It's actually really fast. I referenced in one of my Lasko videos a broken blade set. Well, that's it. The back of the hub is cracked, so it makes a nice ornament. Yeah, these are just random license plates. Center cap. These signs on the wall are something I may or may have not acquired when I was a younger guy, a way younger guy, and they just kind of hung on. What you see in front of that bicycle tire is my son's pride and joy. We will do a really good video on that at some point. That's a the red one over there in the corner was a 86. This is an 85. This was in the woods, overgrown, rotted out. This is not the original frame. This is actually the frame for the motor that I told you I bent the crank on a while ago. So we had an instant donor. This was a COVID project, and it was a self-learning project, and I can't wait to talk about it when we do a video. So then we have buried is that Honda, and as the spring comes on, this stuff gets less buried in here. We move stuff around to get more accessible. That Honda I've had brand new since 2015. That was my only lawnmower in 2015, and somehow I wanted, I got that other green one over there to protect that one because it's heavy. It's non-self-propelled, and I wanted to protect it and not cut near the woods and there's roots and things like that. So then I ended up with two, and then I thought, wow, let's get the tractor, and then here you go. Then my son finds this, and then I find the red or orange one over there, and then here you go. So it's become like a little bit of a hobby, but they all get used. It's kind of like if you watch football, you have your situational players. It's kind of like we have our situational lawnmowers. It's ridiculous, but that's the case. Air compressor. I just did a video on cleaning out a air purifier, and this is the air compressor I used. I pointed out the one on the shelf. The one on the shelf is great for bicycle tires and basketballs and footballs and whatnot. But this, if you're looking to clean something, I haven't used it with any tools. I haven't had a need for it yet, but maybe. But I've used it to mainly for the vehicles. I've used it to clean, inside of motors, fans, whatever you need. It's really handy. Then I have a gas powered generator, which I'll do a video on that, and I have a funny story that goes with that. Yes, I have battery backup for the solar, but I'll get into that very interesting story. So that's just like some of the stuff that's going on in here, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you kind of all about it and talking about it, because this is a lot of the stuff in here. Yes, it's overkill, but it's organized in a way that everything's accessible. And I'm also a big proponent of, hey, let's use the stuff that we got. So everything in here has a use case, and it's this garage is too small to really have things that we're just collecting and not using. So even that 1985 lawnmower, my son, he uses it on a stretch of lawn that is like pristine, that there's no chance of rocks or obstructions. So again, everything gets really used in here, or they're on the way to getting serviced. And we do kind of have a rule in here, the rake's falling over. We do have a rule in here that if we get something, we acquire something for free, and it's not really fits what we need for around here, we put it up on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. Like that rototiller will go, that other chainsaw probably will go. In that case, my son has his first ever chainsaw. It's a battery operated, handheld, teeny tiny. Yeah, you can still get hurt, but he's a responsible boy, and it's I think it's a good way to start learning to use a power tool. And so there you have it. Videos coming. There will be a video on what's under this cover. I'm gonna leave it a mystery. And sorry, my finger's on in front of the lens. I'm gonna leave it a mystery, and we will talk about that one later. So, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification so as we start going through this stuff. If anything, all I'm looking to do is share hobbies with others and start a discussion. And I have learned from you guys in the comments, and I super appreciate that. And I hope, if anything, meet some virtual friends out there. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.